I'm running for Chula Vista City Council seat 2. I'll make this a little bit short. I know you guys love to hear politicians and candidates talk for long periods of time, but I'll make this just a little bit shorter for you. Look, some of you know me. I've been the Chief of Staff to U.S. Congressman Bob Filner for the last 5 years. I've also been the Chief of Staff to U.S. Senator Barbara Boxer for the time previous to that. And in that role, most of you have known me as a coalition builder, someone who can help bring people together, whether it be our delegation in Congress, Republicans and Democrats, whether it's bringing our community together. I've been able to do that with Congressman Filner for the last 5 years. So I think I'm running because I'm sick and tired, guys. I'm sick and tired of watching politicians do what is in their best interest for the next 2 to 4 years rather than what's in the best interest of this community for the next 10 or 20 years. And that's something I think we need to change. I decided to run because I knew that the decisions that were going to be made in the next few years were going to impact my 2 little boys for the next 10 or 20 years. And I want my kids to want to grow up in Chula Vista. I want my kids to come back to this community and say, Dad, I want to live in this community. I want to be close, because when I get old, I want them to be close to me. I want them to live in this neighborhood. And right now, I think we're headed in a direction where they're not going to want to live here. They're not going to have the jobs in this community. I tell you, look, we have pretty amazing opportunities in Chula Vista. We have a bayfront, one of the prime pieces of land in the whole state of California that hasn't been developed. We have the 3rd Avenue redevelopment area that's just waiting to be developed into our little Italy, our center where people from outside our community actually want to come. We have land to the east to build our university, to build our Sorrento Valley, our UTC, our job center, our professional job center. That's something that a lot of cities don't have. We're at the center of a transportation hub, and yet we should be asking questions like, why does the coaster stop downtown? We built a community that we became a suburban community for San Diego County. So everybody that lives here has to get up in the morning and go to work somewhere else. We all get up between 6 and 8 a.m. and we leave. And between 4 and 7 o'clock, we all come back. So why is it that we don't have real mass transit to actually take us to those jobs? We all go to Sorrento Valley, we all go downtown, we go to Carlsbad, we go to Rancho Bernardo, but we don't come here. And that's what we need to start doing. We need to have a community. We're the 2nd largest city in the whole county, and yet we don't have the jobs. We haven't diversified our economy. We have to do that. We have to have the jobs for people that actually stay here. So now our restaurants on the east side aren't even open at lunchtime. We have to create an attraction. People need to be able to come here, not only for us to be able to have these things, but to create and increase our revenue so that we can have the things that we need, like enough police on the street, which we don't have. We have 1.03 police officers per 1,000 residents. So on any given night, and you talk to the police officers, because I've been on the ride-along for them, they have about, at the lowest level, 10 police officers for 230,000 residents. That's not right, guys. That's not something that's an embarrassment to our community. We have streets here in the Southwest that there's no sidewalks. There's potholes everywhere that haven't been fixed, because what they do is just triage. So what they do is they fix the streets on the east side, because they just slurry seal them, and that's fine, because they just want to keep them up, because it's cheaper to just keep those streets up than to come down here and fix the streets that they should be fixing. We need to increase that funds. Every politician for the last 40 years has come to you and told you the exact same thing. I'm going to fix your streets. I'm going to fix the west side. And guess what? It hasn't happened. We need to get people in there, and I'm not going to promise you that today. I'm just going to go and do the job. I'm going to go find the funding to fix those streets. We need to talk about redevelopment and have an open conversation with the community about redevelopment and what works. Because right now, a lot of stuff's not working on the redevelopment side of our city. We need to make it work, because redevelopment can increase that tax increment so that we can have the funding to fix those streets, fix those potholes, underground the phone lines on the west side. Just to be able to have street lights that aren't attached to the phone lines. these are the types of things that we should be doing, but we need to have that conversation about redevelopment, because that's what, that can do that. And we also need to utilize our resources. We got Bob Filner sitting down 2 blocks away from City Hall. He's a senior member of the Transportation Committee. And guess what? We're not getting our fair share. We're not getting our fair share of transportation and infrastructure dollars. And it's because we have not done a good job as a city of lobbying and getting the dollars that we deserve. So, look guys, I'm running because I want to change these things. I'm not running for anything else. I know people will tell you he's young, you know, this is just a stepping stone. I didn't run to get to be anything else. I ran because I wanted to make a difference here in Chula Vista. I wanted to change something here and start just being honest with people. Because I think, you know, a lot of people, you're not all going to agree with me on everything, but I'll tell you one thing. You're always going to know where I stand. And I think that's the difference between a lot of elected officials today that we have and what we're going to get. We got people that take a stand on the issues. I don't want to leave, and I'd appreciate any questions.
Going back to the children.
No, I mean, look, I think there's certain rules that you can't do. You cannot park there for 48 hours or something. But the problem that you have is that people are complaining, I think, about somebody who parked there. I think
No, I'm complaining about what they're charging now. I'm not against towing, you know, if you get a car that's illegally parked, stolen, or that's not bad. Tow it.
The first day that we would have, that we'd sit down with the city manager, and that's what I promised you, we'd sit down and try and find out what exactly was wrong. Because I don't have the answers to everything, guys. I know politicians will come up here and tell you they do have the answers. I don't. But the first day, I told you months ago, that's what we were going to do.
What are you standing with Proposition G?
I'm absolutely opposed to Proposition G. I think that these guys are coming in from the outside. They're coming in from all over this country. They're coming here and trying to set a precedent in our community. What they're going to end up doing is slowing down and stopping our neighborhood from ever being developed. Larry talked about this. Larry talked about how it's impossible for anybody else to bid on any of these projects. That is completely false. You just had there's a PLA at the San Diego Unified School District, and it went out for bid. We got 40% under bid, and the person that got it was a non-union contractor. So it's completely false what they're saying. This is going to ruin our bayfront, guys. Don't allow this to stop the development of our bayfront. It's too important.